Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the final match of Week 1, Season 39. And with last round's loss, the 2-month Kyber 2 streak has been broken, but we can still stay within Kyber 2 brackets with a win and keep that streak alive. I also very much want to finish in Kyber 2 just for the extra crystals. Those extra 20 or so crystals can add up. We'll take a look at how the last round's defense fared. So this was a completely winnable match, and I should have won it, but it came down to fleet RNG. I have completely altered my fleet strategy. Here's what's on defense now. I'm trying to lock down fleet with Profundity and the Executor, make sure that my opponents can't clear my fleet territories anymore. But that means I have way less wiggle room with my own offense up against their fleets. And my Scythe counter failed. The Scythe counter isn't 100%, but I didn't even make enough progress. It's something where I feel like in Fleet Arena I win maybe 80% of the time, but I didn't lose either my Gauntlet or one of the TIE fighters, so I couldn't bring the TIE bomber out as a reinforcement early enough. And in that situation, I just couldn't clear anything, and then it's too difficult to clean up. If I had made a little bit of progress, maybe we could have cleaned up with something. But I am going to alter my strategy a little bit moving forward and make sure that the negotiator we have for offense. In terms of my defense, other than the fleet, some of the teams did fare pretty well. Down below here, we have 2 attempts needed up against CLS with the Chupiocron. The big change I made is I took Jabba off of my defense. I just don't have enough answers for an opponent who places both Lord Vader and Jabba on defense, and I'm glad I did because I needed to clean up both of those squads. Because with only 3 GLs and JMK being one of them, I can't bring JMK up against both of those. So I needed another high-level GL counter to bring in there. Now the top territory, this was one shot, although last round both of these Krons were able to get holds, and in the other territory, right down here, we did get a hold from Padme. So my defense did do a lot to assist me and set me up to win, but I was playing under the assumption that I was going to full clear, which was probably a reckless assumption. So I was doing a lot of testing and playing in a pretty stubborn fashion. And I would have won had I cleared the Profundity, but I had lost way too many banners in testing in order to win in this kind of banner matchup scenario. For the final bracket, Ka6432 is my opponent. This is going to be pretty favorable. I think there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to win this one. The question is just, do I get enough banners in a win in order to jump back into Kyber 2? I think I will. I think I only need 29 banners, and we're going to get 30-something, maybe more, with a win, so we should be fine. Omicrons, he's very light at 11. He is tied for the lightest in the bracket. GLs, it has more than me, obviously, but he is also kind of light in terms of the rest of the bracket. I think I overlooked him in the round 1 matchup when I was breaking this down. I thought everyone had 6 or 7. He only has 5. This is another data point that is very favorable for me. Only 136 relic units. That's very minimal and of an amount that is barely an advantage over me and not of the threat level where I'm going to have problems. The round 1 opponent had 181. That's where I start losing a lot of confidence in whether or not I can secure a win. His depth is also shallow at below 200 gear 11 plus units. With the relic distribution, he's okay with the tier 5s, smaller advantage in the tier 7, very light on the 9s and 8s, and if you're paying attention to that 9, there's one character I have at relic 9, and that is Raddus, which means he does not have the Profundity, which means my fleet, he's definitely not clearing. With the rest of this, his relics are fine. His mods are good though. This is a place where he has some advantages, slightly better with the top 25, slightly below me with the top 500, but not in a dangerous level. The 25 plus, he has a couple more than me. 20 plus, I have a few more than him. And the 15 plus, I have a bit more, but not a huge amount. With the Datacrons, he's taking them pretty seriously. That's another place where we're going to match up favorably with 3 level 9 Datacrons and good amount of counts on all of them. But here's the thing, when usually if we see a player with a low amount of GLs, usually they're going to have Jabba or Lord Vader. He has all the old ones. That is going to help me out a little bit depending on what he sets down on defense. As we progress through here, no Starkiller on top of that, no Aphra, and I recommend all players who are in the late game go for somebody like Aphra over a GL, unless, well, Jabba you should go after. Jabba you should go after. But if you already have Jabba and you're trying to decide between a Aphra or a GL, go after Aphra. But the thing for his roster, I'd be going after both Starkiller and Aphra to boost what he's got going on instead of adding to GL depth. He could have both of them for the cost of a next GL. His dash is not at relics, obviously, because of that. And there are the rest of those characters. Some of these other ones are looking good. The modding, you can tell, is very strong, but with no profundity, he's gonna just have some trouble, and I'm probably not gonna learn my lesson, and I'm going to do a lot of testing this round as well. But his defense, if it matches his history, is gonna be pretty weak. Now with the hotbot here, this is the other thing which is going to make things favorable for me. What we look at here are the undersizes and clears, and those are pretty small numbers. And at that level, and based on his history, he just may not participate. Now, he is in a Kyber 2 bracket right now, so it suggests he does participate enough to win at least on a fair amount of occasion, because you can't even really be in Kyber 3 unless you're participating in Grand Arena. So even though his history is inconsistent, he should play to a certain amount, or he might see that he doesn't have a chance and may not play. Although my defense is really weak right now, so he might clear these squads and then be in a situation where then he notices in fleet he can't clear and stops there without an attempt. And we'll scroll through the rest of this, but most of this we already covered with the bracket, but we can get a side-by-side look on a few of these key characters, and then we'll take a look at his modding in detail. So with the quality of his modding, what we're seeing is, order this by speed, and this is why I go through this exercise. First Order Officer is his last one at 302, Grand Inquisitor is 298, which means he only has 20 characters. And even though his mods are very good, he has really nice counts, his modding could be better. Like, I have 26 characters above 300 speed, and we have a lot of opponents who are like 30 or 30 plus characters above 300 speed. So a number of these characters like CLS, C-3PO, Stark, Dooku, Watt, Bastila Fallen, these are characters who are fairly easy to get above 300 speed, and for them to be below 300 speed, or Han, that's going to make things fairly favorable for me, for those characters not to be above that threshold. And with his defense, now he has made a number of changes. I think I made some minor changes this round. This Datacron here, I'll show you these Datacrons while we're doing this, just because like this level 3 ability I want for my Savage. I have more now that I can pair with him for next week, but this week it was my only one. But this got a hold in round 1. This ability here got a hold in round 1. That might say more about that opponent. Well, that opponent did have a really nice roster. Down below, again, the big change here from last round is no Jabba on defense. Although I could have put him back on defense because this opponent, again, no Lord Vader, no Jabba, no real need for me to save mine, but it was more like I just didn't go through the process of swapping it out. Back wall Maul here. This is likely to change for me because the Beskar Mando I'm going to take off of this so that I can use Beskar Mando for my Fennec squad in those situations where we're going up against a Lord Vader with a Maul on the team. I've been considering swapping in Jango there because I do have a level 7 Kron for Jango now, which could be nice to pair in that scenario. Especially with the level 3 ability that I have on it, which is the protection up one, which would pair nicely with the Canderous in that kind of situation. That's one of the things I'm looking at testing for next week. The rest here is minor. And then back here, the big change here is Chimera back on defense. The Executor counter with the Chimera, I think I need relics on my Iden for that to work, and it's a pretty wonky one regardless. And in round 1, I think I would have been able to clear my opponent had I had another high level fleet in like the Negotiator, which I had on defense in that round, because I beat the Executor Profundity, whatever he had with his fleet, but I didn't have a strong enough fleet to take out his Chimera. That's where I got stalled out in round 1. Now looking at what he's got set down, this is going to be a little favorable for me. It looks like he's light on the Datacrons. A set expired. He hasn't changed things. So we have Geos, Boba Fett with the Zam Ami, Ray with Swolo, Shaak T, and Mon Mothma. And then down below here, Malgus, Palpatine, again, no Star Killer, so we're seeing one of those weaknesses. JMK, CLS without the Chupiocron. So you can see this is going to be a fairly favorable matchup for me that we might be able to do some damage on. I think we'll just start with gas. We did do a Saturday Twitch, which started around 5 p.m. Pacific. That's usually what we're doing on Saturdays, where I did do a Grand Arena prep. We do a lot of roster reviews. For the time being, those roster reviews are just open on a first come first served basis. We also do them on Saturdays as well. Or not Saturdays, on Tuesdays as well. So if you are interested in the roster review, like, I'm very nice about it, and we do them regularly. It's also the most viewed portion of them. Like, when the playthrough things, there's a fall off in the viewership. The roster reviews is when the viewers are strong. And I'll do like 45 minutes of review. I take my time. All right, what is going on here? This is why you can't talk and play this. I'm thinking two different things in my head. I thought I was building a JMK team for a moment. Okay, we got Rex 5s. I'm gonna grab a Tenacity one. It's not the best, but I think it's good enough. All right, let's switch to the big screen. Now the ones with gas and Bastila, what am I talking about? I feel like the brain's not working today. The Darth Revan Bastila Shan versions, I think, are pretty good and sometimes create some problems. This is also one of the teams I'm looking to make a lot stronger. You best not die right now. I need you to stand up right now. No. Do not die on me. Oh my god, man. Alright. I'm going to throw this on Fallen, even though I'd rather have it on Malgus, just because maybe it'll help us get through Fallen. But I don't think this is a win at this point. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. That version, I think, can cause some problems. It's why I want to up the relics across the board on that squad. Also considering looking at the modding. Some people have said the crit chance modding on gas works better. I haven't touched my gas mods in years. I might do that now. We have options. We have plenty of options here. But I think where I'm going to use my JMK is in this location, because what I'd like to show, let's see what he's got here. Yeah, so he's got buffs, recover, health, and protection. Solid enough. I think a lot of people are suggesting that, but I want to do a gas mirror. What's this one? This one. We're doing a JMK mirror. I want to show the benefits of using the protection up. The tenacity up equals stacking protection. This one I think is the superior one. And keep in mind, his speeds are better, and maybe even his relic levels are better. Yeah, his relic levels and mods are better. I've got this Datacron. Let's see how it goes. Like normally, without Datacrons, this is a losing scenario. His gas takes out mine, I take out his. And now it's Ahsoka's versus Ahsoka's. His is faster, and he has one higher relic level. But look at the amount of tenacity up that is on both characters. This squad throws around a lot of tenacity up, and he is going to struggle to deal with my stacking protection up. He's got a little health and protection recovery, but that does not matter nearly as much as stacking protection up. Okay, he's got damage immunity, so we're going to go over here. He's landed one armor shred. He's thrown that. I'm going to throw an armor shred over here. Okay. Now he's landed an armor shred. That did ignore a lot of protection, it did feel like, though, which is a little scary. Alright, we got the ultimate off. Another armor shred. We might even do like a small video on this. This is something that I don't understand. I've talked about this in a lot of videos, but people have not gotten the message. All right, we're gonna auto from here. Like, without Datacrons, this is a loss for me. I don't beat this JMK with all things being equal. Or not things being equal, but without the Datacron alteration. And we just crush it with that Datacron. That's what you should be using with your JMK. Tenacity up equals stacking protection up. Okay. I think we're just gonna Troopers the Nute. We haven't done that in a long time. But we have a few changes since last time, which is I've got higher gear on these characters. I've got Relic on Dark Trooper. I've brought Veers up to gear 12 in the Sith Eternal Emperor preparation. Is that what I put in my prep work? Yeah, that was in my prep planning. And we'll mark the Dark Trooper. I don't need this yet. I'm just gonna use a basic, I think. Call the assists. That should burn through B1. I'm gonna throw the days. I don't think it really matters. Let's get some turn meter now. We need Django to go one more time. I'm going to take out Nute once. Now we just need Django to take his turn. Oh, come on, man. Okay, let's mark. And we'll hit Django. Okay, that's one. We will AoE. There we go. The thing is, you can do that with a Gear 11 Veers and Gear 12 Dark Trooper. It's not reliable, though. I still did it a lot, but I also lost it. Okay, so we know it's a slower... God, do I want to do this again? What datacron do we have? I don't think there's much tenacity up with these characters. I might be wrong. Okay. What do I want to do here? What was on my plan? My plan was JTR Swolo up against Palpatine. That could be fun. And then CLS, my plan was Savage, but I don't know if Savage wins. We're going to do it. If I had the Datacron, Savage wins. But it's also something I'm doing for fun. Let's find something, though. Doesn't apply. Oh wait, I have it. It's right here. This is what I wanted. Why didn't I use this? Okay, well, he should crush it then. We're fine. I thought I only had one of these. It means I could have used it last round. Yeah, so we're gonna just auto. We are gonna outpace the damage, and eventually the stacking offense is going to take out CLS. Chupio's never the problem here. The problem is the recovery from CLS and his cleanse, or his dispel rather, removing the stacks of resilient defense. Because the amount of stacks on that also affects the damage output. Can't talk today. But now, every time I take a turn, we're getting stacking offense. And eventually, whatever CLS does is irrelevant. Yeah. Okay. Soon. Right there, that should be it. Oh, he's back in the green. Okay. Let's get him back down there. Now, again already? Now. Take him out now. Result. See, I love that counter. Okay. Now, my notes are JTR Swolo. This is a little risky because the AoEs. Like, I probably shouldn't do this. And normally I wouldn't do it. But I got this here Datacron. It's not an amazing Datacron, but I'm going to use it. I might actually re-roll this Datacron though, because I just stuck with it because I wanted it. I wanted it anyway, but it was like my number 3 or number 4 priority when it came to the Datacrons. And I've had just a hell of a time trying to get the Mara J Datacron since. So I'd be fine next month trying to finish up this Swolo one. Now that was nice, but Swolo may have been able to do that without the Datacron, because I've got the redeemed Ami, on Swolo, which is a really fantastic and underrated Omicron. I think it's far better than its reputation. Because really the one-shot capabilities of Swolo are dependent on that Omicron. Alright, I think I'm just gonna Jabba this. The crazy thing I wanted... Oh God, do I want to do it? That's just crazy talk. It's crazy talk. I can't do it. I think we're gonna do it. I just want to know what happens. We're gonna do it. So there's no way this is gonna work, but we're gonna do it anyway. Hondo beats Malgus in a cleanup situation. I'm just a little curious. Can he do it regardless? Can he just beat Malgus? Like I think let's see. Let's find out. Now, I think Darth Revan and Basilisk Sean is just going to be way too much, and this is craziness. But if this works, then we might need to change some things. Okay. Now we got my 10. Cause see. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. No shot. Now you can find one of the videos that has Hondo in the thumbnail, and one of those will have Hondo cleaning up a Malgus when he had the double revive tank Datacron. But right now, we're just gonna blow this up with a Galactic Legend and then move on. Because, like, for those who don't know, I tend to have a certain amount of intent with my selections for the thumbnail. It somehow, in some capacity, will relate to the content in the video. Potency and stacking tenacity? Why would I care about that? I need to re-roll that or sell it. The chances they inflict 5 debuffs are very low. But it doesn't look like I have a lot of other options. So let's just go with this one. Alright, let's target Fallen. Because I always feel like Fallen's kind of the win condition with some of these characters. Because Corrupted Battle Meditation is just a really powerful debuff. And just her synergy with Darth Revan's really, really good. Just how the Shaak damage works. I guess for players who are a little newer, who don't hear about this as much because the Darth Revan meta part of the game has passed, you want your Darth Revan faster than your Fallen so that Revan applies Shaak to everyone, and then Fallen can target somebody with Shaak and wipe them all out. The modding and turn order is important. Yeah, let's taunt. We'll cleanse just because no one can assist, so really we need to wait for... Oh, do we... Okay. Next turn, he'll be consumed or blown up by thermals, one of the two. These thermals... No, we're gonna eat Malgus. What are we talking about? He's not a GL. We can eat Malgus. We're gonna eat Malgus. Because he's not gonna blow up from the thermals, because he's one of the characters who isn't gonna be affected by those kinds of stats. Alright, let's check out this back wall. I will say my opponent has changed their defense. He had 0 GLs on his defensive strategy from his last 3v3. That has been a while, so he has made a number of alterations. But not in any way that I need to really adjust my play. Like, my strategy, as I laid this out on Twitch yesterday, was I left all of my GLs and high-level counters off of my strategy prep work. Like, I try to play these things without needing a GL unless I need it for a GL counter. Okay, so we got Qui-Gon, Grievous with... Do you have that? No, you don't have a synergizing... That's just a weird choice. Okay, then Dooku, Nest, Finn. What? Oh, this is only going to apply to Nest because this was a light side set. Okay. Nest counters a lot anyway. The retribution's kind of redundant. All right, we'll do a bunch of testing here. We just got to figure out what we want to do. We're going to be testing Serjunda, Kestis, Tuskens, Admiral Trench, all that stuff. Again, Trench is gear 12. We'll have the Datacron for next week. All right, what do we want to do? Most of this we did see a plan for. Let's do the top territory. We'll do the serious stuff, then we'll go into a testing mode. Not that we haven't done testing with like Hondo already. Alright, let's do Starkiller. And if Starkiller doesn't work, we clean it up with JML, but Starkiller tends to work well here. And next week we'll have the Datacron, so it'll be even better. So, Palp, Mara Jade, Starkiller, and we give them something. Okay. Start of their turn, more damage. I mean, that's not nothing. You can work with this. Alright, let's stun Swolo. It's a 2 Ami Swolo. Let's throw down staggers. Focus in on Rey, get to the damage immunity as quickly as possible. I'm going to... No, let's stay with the basic. Now maybe we should have done... hit the staggers. Alright. Hit the stagger. Okay, not the stagger. I wanted the assist is what I meant. Don't die on me. Okay, heal up, get a bonus turn. We'll stun again. Staggers. We'll trigger a stagger. No, we triggered the damage immunity there. Let's hit this one. Okay. I just want to make a lot of damage over here. We'll do a basic again, get the assist, that'll trigger the unleashed. We still, do I want to wait? We're just gonna hit it. We should be able to take out Rey. Okay, no, we don't take out Rey. She does her thing. We're at full health. Let's get some buffs. So let's get offense up. Everyone's already stunned. I think I should have waited on the unleash now. Do your damage. Okay. All right. Staggers. We're gonna hit this one. Yes. We'll hit this one as well. Oh, that's not good. Come on. No. Oh my god. Can we take out Holdo then? Oh, you dodge? I'm gonna throw an Omicron on them. I made some choices that I don't like. Is that how I want to play it, or do I want Yoda? I'm gonna bring in Hermit Yoda instead. But we also need a Datacron. Health resistance potency or potency armor. I think this is fine. Problem is, this actually has a low success rate. It's like a 30% success rate. But, well, you know what? We didn't factor in this Datacron. What Datacron is this? Okay. But we should be able to take out Holdo quickly and early. Don't heal up. No, okay. Oh, we're gonna do this one because these got days. You best not heal up. Okay. Alright, Holdo's down. Damage immunity triggered over there. Let's trigger some damage immunity on Swolo. Done. Let's increase cooldowns on Rey. And we're going to stay focused here. We'll heal up. Okay, blow up. That did nothing. Alright, we're just going to work on getting towards the ultimate. We'll spread Master's Training. We'll get rid of the offense up from Swolo. Okay. Don't die. Jeez, you serious? What if I do this? This is very foolish, I know. I know it was foolish. Did I messed up, didn't I? Did I prevent myself from winning this? Because I can't take out Rey right now, because I need to get Swolo weaker. Oh my god. I messed this up. I should have saved Rancor for this. I just was overly confident about my Starkiller. We might be in trouble. I may have messed this up. Alright. I should have done Starkiller before I used Jabba. Alright, we're gonna do Fifth Brother here. We do have Aphra's not going to... So there's a Datacron that does work with Aphra in at least 5v5 up against Rey. I don't have it right now. It's the droid one. I used it in Territory Wars. We're going to still try Aphra. Okay, we're gonna do 8th and 2nd. We'll give them, no, that's for Womps. I'm just gonna give you some stats. Now this gets a little scary, but with this combination, I haven't lost yet. I have lost with 5th, 7th, and 9th. But this also has more relics on Kiadi Mundi than I've dealt with before. So I don't know. Alright, we're going to hit that. We got protection up now. We got damage immunity. We're taking out Qui-Gon. Hit Anakin. Yeah, okay. That's the first time we lose. Alright, we're going to do a little Shaak T here. We're just going to do some basic stuff, clear out some teams before we start figuring out how to get through that Rey. But this is also why I said my big project right now is fixing my counters. Like, I want higher relics on my Starkiller, so things like that are less RNG dependent. Or maybe I add an Omicron over to my Rey. I'm a little worried about my Echo right now. I'm gonna hit Grievous because I'm worried about Echo. Don't. Okay. We're going to Echo, I gotta protect. Okay, we should be good now. All right, I don't want to do testing yet. What was my plan? I was going to do Hondo up against Dooku, but I've already used Hondo, so that needs to change. Poggle, we can do almost anything. It doesn't really matter. He's taken his Iden off of defense. I had planned for Iden. I had also planned for Gas, who's now no longer on defense. Let's go look up here. I kind of... Alright, we're gonna Vader... Yeah, we're gonna Vader Geos. I'm gonna throw Talon in here. So we're not going to quite solo... Sure. But what Talon does is she's going to boost up the stats. So Vader should have enough speed to go first. Yeah. Otherwise Vader wouldn't be going first. I'm hitting the sides to bring down the health pool. Do I want to chuck it now? Let's give it a shot. Yeah, great. Like, Talon is what made this work. Shaak T, we can Malgus. Not Malgus, Malak. Potency, armor penetration. Yeah, that sounds good. Armor and resistance penetration. We're like fully off the board right now because like, oh, I actually should have checked my notes here because my plan for Shaak T was Sirjunda Calcestis, which I wanted to do because I thought this was going to be like a good challenge for Sirjunda to really kind of get a feel for what they can do. Which I kind of wish I would have done. I think that would have been fun and an interesting result. It's fine though. All right. Hit arc. Drain and heal. This should that'll take him out, and from here we'll auto onto Echo. I went after Arc Trooper first because Fear was on Echo for one turn and not on Arc. That's usually how I'm making the decision between the two. If Fear's on somebody, why interrupt it? You know, that's all I'm thinking about it. Okay, Boba Fett was on his plans. I didn't really have a plan for Boba Fett here. Because I had leftover teams, I was just going to use one of those. So what I'm thinking about is Wampa, Aphra, Inquisitor. I'm holding back. I want to beat the rest of the board with everything else that I have left. And maybe Traya. Like, Traya isn't... What part of... A lot of the kit still works. Not all of it. What portion of it turns off against a GL? I guess maybe it does fully turn off. I don't know. I've used my JML up against Traya before, and it's been a mess. So maybe I don't know. Okay. Do I have another thing I can use here? My plan for this was Traya. Bad batches, not impossible. Not great for mine though. Bad Batch is really more of a relic situation. I could have Vadered it too if I didn't use up my Vader already. Tuskens I tried in an earlier round and it wasn't... They're too vulnerable to an AoE on that squad. I think I might just Jedi Knight Revan this, but I'm not... Let's go to the back wall. Thing is that, I could Savage solo that. Okay, let's start doing some of this testing. My plan for Finn was Trench. I still think I'm gonna do it. I want to see what happens. They could just crush him. Trench. This could go very poorly. Let's see what happens. Alright, we gotta put Blastoid onto Ventress. It's because my other options are on defense. I'll most likely be changing some of that stuff. Okay, let's try and land a stun. Awesome. Can we get another stun? This does stun too, right? I think I just want the tactical supremacy. Let's hit Finn. We get a stagger. We hit the stagger. Let's remove the daze. I don't know if that matters too much, but let's see if we can land another stun on. Okay, we don't get the stun. I don't want the. What I don't want is what I want. Okay, I don't want the stun or the taunt from Finn. And that no longer works. Because what I'm trying to determine is how much can a squad like punch up. Because I'm still trying to determine what's like that ceiling on Trench. I feel like let's do Empire. That feels reckless. Especially the preloaded turn meter. Without the preloaded turn meter, maybe. Jedi Knight Revan is the safe thing, but the issue is, what am I doing up against Boba Fett? You know what? This probably would work better up against Boba Fett. We're just going to Jedi Knight Revan this, because otherwise I think we get into a messy scenario. Sure, I don't care. Okay. Finn's the one I want to hit. Because he's going to be Resistance Finn, I should say. Because he's kind of the engine here. Because he spreads Inspired and to become much more dangerous with Inspired. Without Inspired, it's not as much of an issue. And Finn on his own, he gets stacking damage, but that's not the problem. This is one of those squads where you like chop the head off. But we've now deprived myself of bringing this up against the Zam army. Poggle's not a challenge for Cere Jundikel. Like, this Poggle I don't really care about. Like, we could throw bounty hunters at this. We could throw all sorts of weird junk at this. Oh, we have Merrin too. What was up top again? Like, we can't bring Merrin up against Boba Fett. That's a no-go. I don't think it's an option up against Mon Mothma. Problem is, once Kyle Katarn gets going, he's going to blow them up, so that's not an option. I might just end up whomping that. I'm just trying to avoid it right now. Yeah, we're going to do that stuff down here. Although it might be interesting to do Night Sisters up against Nest. Because Plague is something that is going to circumvent the protection up, I'm pretty sure. It's just, I think this might be a little bit scarier. Let's give it a shot. Alright, try stun Dooku. Awesome start. Let's try and stun again. The days I'm worried about, but I think we might be able to work with it. I'm not convinced it's a problem yet. Let's just hit the Plague. Deal, stun, 4 stacks of Plague. Okay, let's dispel. It didn't dispel. Okay, now we can start bringing up the stacks of health. At least that's what I was hoping to do. I'm going to bring back Telzine. Okay. Let's bring him back. Let's hit the plagues. I just want a lot of plague. Does he not have the Zeta on Dooku? The recovery doesn't seem right for him. Okay, there goes that one. That's basic for the return. I don't want the counter, so I'm going to bring back Telzine. That's fine. I don't care too much about that. There we go. Now we're in the situation I wanted to be in. Let's get a stun if we can do it. Okay, I'm going to keep trying for a stun. We'll bring back Daka. Or not Daka, Telzine. Okay, I don't like this. We need to start landing. Yeah, I need a land plague is what I need to do. I'm highly dissatisfied. Oof. Okay. Will this inflict plague? Inflict 4 stacks of plague if it defeats an enemy. Oh, that's the part I glossed over last time. Okay, let's just do a basic then. Now, my plan here was reliant on the fact that we might be inflicting some plague, which so far we have not been doing. Can we stun? Which I guess I should have factored into my calculations, because most people do modify their nest for tenacity. Is there what's this data crown again? Okay, that doesn't matter. Yeah, without stacking potency, I don't think we got a shot here. Because we just finally land, yeah. Yeah, not gonna happen. I should have checked the mods. Okay, so Poggle. Just don't feel like this is a challenge for Cere Junda, but this is the situation we're in now. So Cere Junda, Cal Kestis, Fulcrum is what we've been doing in 3v3. Droideka could blow somebody up though, and I don't think we have a dispel. So this is the type of thing where we might have to time out our hits. Oh, each debuff resisted, which is definitely going to happen with Droideka. I want the bonus protection. hit Sunfac. Oof. Protect Sirjunda. But you can see that she took a nice hit from a Relic Droideka. Like, Sirjunda's tanky. This is what I'm talking about. Like, imagine if she was 7 stars. Imagine if she was relics. This should take out Sunfac. Okay. This might take out Sirjunda though. Yeah, that's what I figured. Droideka's just about timing now. The ability block is going to help. Wish we had some buffs. Let's do the hit. We can get at least some stacking damage. Ooh, okay, not a fan. I'm just doing it basic because I don't think anything count. Oh my god. Thing is, Tuskens would have crushed this. Maybe we just do it anyway. Awesome. Do it. Okay. Yeah, this is just a timing thing. We could die before we get our shot. Come on, man. Do it. Awesome. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's just clean this junk up. I guess we're going to throw in Tuskens up against some stuff. Alright, we still need to respect this, though. He's going to blow up Tuskens. We're definitely not doing Tuskens here. What's our Scythe looking like? This is gonna get blown up. We're doing it anyway. Because I really don't want to bring a real team in right now. Okay, Deus helps. Take him out. I didn't think so. Alright, we got to bring in something legitimate. More bounty hunters? Still a Fennec? It's kind of something. We do have Grief and Zam still. That could be a nest cleanup if it comes down to it. Which makes me want to hold back or sing. Alright, we can bring in anything to clean up. Let's do this over here. Because those are cleanup situations. Because we're still playing with one hand behind our back right now. By not using Grand Inquisitor, Aphra, Wampa, some real things. Now what I'm gonna give... Here's what I'm thinking. We do Thrawn, Moff Gideon, Tarkin. Now I think this is risky. And Boba Fett could just blow somebody up. But if I get to my turn, then we can fracture Boba and work on taking out Zam and eliminating the Omicron. Otherwise, we do a Fennec counter up against this. The thing is, Boba Fett can't get his payout unless he takes out whoever attacks first on my squad. So we don't need to worry about the payout too much, but Moff Gideon's super vulnerable here. But let's do it. Awesome. Excuse me. Alright. Pull the turn meter away. Let's throw an armor shred on Zam. Let's pull some more turn meter away. Yeah, let's do that. Let's swap with Moff Gideon. Because I want Moff Gideon to get to his turns quickly. Bonus turn meter. Let's go with the bonus turn meter. Throw another armor shred on Zam. Fracture, please give me... Okay, come on, don't die. Okay. Boba Fett under fracture again. Boba Fett is like what we got to be afraid of. Boom. Omicron gone. Let's... Nobody has turn meter, so we're not going to use this ability yet. Let's go for the daze. We'll swap with Moff Gideon. And... yeah, we'll just do the turn meter now because Dengar has some... We'll throw the armor shred on Boba Fett. Pull turn meter away. Didn't get it. Fracture. Boom. Done. With one. Little worried about... Okay, let's swap with the full turn meter here. Debuffs. We got fracture coming up if nobody dies. Fracture. Awesome. Boba Fett's a really terrible lead for defense. But I still would not have used this team because of the Zam on me. Except the Zam was a Gear 12. And that Gear 12, I knew I'd have a shot at just beating it up. Even though we're not really using a real squad here. Okay, we can just... Well, I don't trust them to play this right. Okay, we're getting a lot of armor shreds here. Swap with the full turn meter. All right. Perfect. We're gonna do something reckless. Not that we haven't already done reckless things. But we're going to... should we do JAWAS first? I'm going to do something even more reckless. We're going to do JAWAS first because I don't think this is not going to work. But I want to mess with the cooldowns. That was the one I wanted to live, right? There's not going to get any thermals, right? Okay, yeah. He killed the one I wanted the most. We're going to auto this until they're dead. We are giving them preloaded turn meter, but up against the Tuskens, that doesn't matter as much. At least I don't think it does. Now this is a thing with the Tuskens. If they were to have more gear or stars, then I think they can win this. They can win this in 5v5. Alright, let's get some protection up. Get some momentum. Let's start hitting Katarn. If I take out one of these characters, I might just let it time out and not risk Mon Mothma bringing anybody back. I don't think we're going to get to that position, though. Okay, that's not enough. Okay. Now we're starting to get the stuns. I'm going to do the big hit, but the momentum is the dispel. How do I want to play this? No, let's go with the dispel. Get some more momentum going. Okay, Warrior, now's your chance. Alright, I'm letting this time out. So we're going to pause, let it time out, and I'll be back in 3 minutes. Alright, we're close to the end of it. So if I wasn't in a situation where I am with Rey, I wouldn't have timed it out. I would have just kept playing because we would have just had Wampa in our back pocket to clean it up. But I'm still trying to keep Wampa just in case. Even though Wampa doesn't really work up against Rey, we're kind of in a desperation situation for where those kinds of calculations have got to be made. And being able to lop off Kyle Katarn here, now we are in a much more likely situation where I can take something else weak up against Mon Mothma and win this thing. And now that we've made the progress we have with Boba Fett, that means we can either take Aura Singh and Bounty Hunters up against Mon Mothma, or to clean up the nest. Although, maybe I want to see if I can take out Swolo. What else do I think is Nest capable here? Can the Bad Batch take out Nest? Well, you know what? The Bad Batch can clean up that Mon Mothma. Let's do that. We can do that. Because the thing is... Did I click on the right one? No. My Bad Batch could not beat the Kyle Katarn. Because it's just a time bomb where without relics, they would lose. Relic Bad Batch could beat that if you have the speed advantage. But in this scenario here, just dealing with Cara Dune, I think they can clean it up. Because Cara Dune's not a damage dealer. She's a little annoying, but we can work with this. Especially if we can get a stun at one of these times. Let's get some buffs. We'll get buff immunity here. Let's call Tech. Tech is best to assist. We'll swap with Echo. This is progressing at a rate where I do wonder if they can win this. Now we finally got a daze. I need to heal up. I don't like this. This is not feeling good. Okay, that I like. Awesome. Great. Now I feel like we can go up against this Rey. And we're gonna just throw everything we have at it. Do I want to start like this? Let's start with Traya. No, maybe not. How do I want to play this? We're gonna start with Aphra. We'll use this because it's a droid one, although it is absolutely useless. This is the one I re-rolled for something that actually does something, because none of this applies. This doesn't do anything with these guys. I wish I would have done it prior to lock-in. Okay. Let's start doing the potency thing. Now, again, this did work for me in Territory Wars, but in Territory Wars, we don't gotta worry about no Omicrons. Please work. Take her out right now. Yes! I mean, maybe we overthought this and just... We didn't need to be... Like, we basically, like, threw out an hour in planning out a strategy to accommodate something that I didn't think was going to go that cleanly. Okay. And now we can just win this with anything. Who cares? Hopefully it was at least valuable in seeing what some lesser teams can do in certain scenarios. That's for Wampa. Its armor might be nice. Health and resistance. Let's take the armor. I would have taken the Wampas because it's not like we're going to use Wampa anymore, but I wanted some defensive stats. Because Anakin's still going to have a hit. Or had a chance at one. Okay. And what do you want? Let's just try it. Because the way I was thinking and planning this all out, reason I played it the way I did was I was imagining that was not going to work, and I would have had to have thrown everything at Rey and a chance to get through Rey. Like, it's why I was thinking, like, maybe I start with, like, Traya or Sing and try and do the Annihilator Disintegrate up against Swolo and put myself into a Rey cleanup situation, because that's why gas is effective up against Swolo, is because it negates some of the revive mechanics. But it still would have been highly risky, and without knowing what was going to happen, and I wanted to play the rest of the board as if those characters were off of my strategy. So we used some weak stuff. Okay, we still are going to have some problems here. Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the sacrifice thing up against this. That's fine. We'll do malevolence. I guess no, we should be okay. We should be fine. So fighter, consular, scimitar, throw this in. And here we will, let's just auto. It doesn't matter. We're just burning the cooldowns. Softening up CAD. Now we can bring in the malevolence. Let's do this an easier way. I'm so looking forward to fleet management. Oh my god. Alright, and we need Old Republic. You best not crash on me. Okay. Alright, after this battle, I am going to try and address that. We are restarting. We cannot afford to lose a fleet to JAWAS. Oh no. Yeah, I am worried. Yeah, it's super laggy. It's not laggy in that way where I feel like it's gonna just freeze on me completely, but it's at a point where I'm definitely concerned. All right, let's throw some buzz droids over here. We'll go do this, get an assist. He'll come out of stun. I'm gonna attack here. That might not be the best way to do it. I want my reinforcement to... I want to be able to control the mark on my reinforcement is what I want. So Spy now comes in. I could go after... Or I could have gone after Razor Crest, but... I want to take out Cad Bane. Now he's gone. Now we'll hit Mando. Or try to. He dodged. We'll throw some buzz droids on IG 2000. AoE, get another buzz vulture droid. Take out IG whatever, IG 2000. Now hit Razor Crest. Awesome. Next time Hyena Bomber goes, or even the next time he goes, Razor Crest should be down. Probably see Slave 1 in a second. Okay. We'll bring out a no, let's just bring out another Vulture Droid. Actually, we're gonna hit Boba Fett. Maybe I shouldn't do that because of the contract. We need. I should. No, you know what? I did mess up. I messed up a little bit. I needed to have brung out the Ebon Hawk. I don't think it's gonna cost me at this point, but that's what I was supposed to have done. I could have stopped the payout from happening. That was a lapse in judgment. Like, fortunately, we had such a lead at this stage in the game, it didn't come into play. But that was a misplay. Alright, I'm going to restart BlueStacks now, because I am terrified. Alright, we're going to do Negotiator. And if it goes poorly, I don't think it'll go poorly. If it does, then we can clean it up with Scythe, but I don't really like the Scythe up against it. And the limited play that I've done, it has not worked out well. And matchups like this is why I've adjusted my defensive strategy to bring Negotiator onto offense. Because this is the type of high-level counter I was lacking before. I haven't done this in so long. Yeah, let's go for the days. For some reason I guess he's not under stealth even though he looks like it. Let's buff immunity. Awesome. This might be a mistake, but this is how we're gonna play it. Okay, fine, perfect. Don't die on me. Get me do this. Okay. Oh, I could have just brought out Plo Koon, but I got paranoid. But the way I'm playing this just shows like how long it's been since I've actually had to use this thing. I should have just brought out Plo and it would have been fine. But I haven't used this thing outside of like territory battles in forever. In territory battles, it's not the same fleet. Let's taunt here. Like, I've messed up all my cooldowns and stuff because of that move. I should be bringing out another ship right now. I'm going to do a mass assist onto Ahsoka and just take her out. Okay. Easy. And up against Raddus, we're going to do Scythe. Because Scythe is pretty high-powered fleet. I'm going to play it with this strategy, even though I think I could just do TIE Bomber as a starter. Alright, let's try and land a... Do I want the protection up? Or do I want the buff immunity? I'm going to do the buff immunity, which we didn't get. Okay. We'll wobble. I should have brought out I should just have the TIE Bomber on the starting line. Because not being able to bring it out and stop like the deflector shield might be a problem. Not a significant one though. He's playing this right though, like I would, that is the, well, there's a couple things. One, Poe should not be a starter, but Sergeant as a reinforcement is correct. That is definitely how I would play it. I'm attacking this one because he doesn't have evasion up. I just don't want to waste the attacks if it comes down to that. I'm not going to care about Sergeant because he's not a win condition. If you eliminate the resistance ships, Raddus becomes useless. Okay. Yeah, it's over. Okay. Oh my god, just go down. Alright. We will return for it after his attacks and make some notes, but this is a win. He's not clearing my fleet, so I am secure and confident, and we have... most likely made it back into Kyber 2. I'm certain we get like 30 or something banners. So we will begin next week in Kyber 2, and we'll tag on something onto this. Grand Arena is not quite finished here, but I'm pretty confident that this is a win now. I think my opponent's done attacking, and this is why I made the adjustment to my fleet strategy of putting both the Executor and the Profundity on defense. It does throw a big RNG component to my offensive strategy that I'm not a fan of, but it greatly increases the chances that my opponents will fail to full clear. Most players are not going to be as comfortable with these other counters, and that increases the chances that you are going to get holds from them and prevent them from full clearing you. And even though these counters are a little less reliable, like the Scythe, I've been saying, like, I think it's, I haven't been tracking it, but it feels like an 80% success rate. And though that's low enough where you will end up losing matches, but it's also high enough where it's worth the risk if it secures a win like this. Because without this hold, this is a loss. Because I could not keep up with the squad offensive output on his end. We do get some holds. He needs 3 attempts to take out CLS with the Chupio Crown. That's been true with every match this round. That's been very strong for me. And then I think he may have one-shot everything else. We may have got one more hold somewhere. The back wall's one-shot. And up top here, this was one-shot as well. Now I could have set Jabba down, but I actually ended up needing Jabba to clear his territories because of a failed counter. And I think I played it right. The strategy worked. And so we will likely be climbing back up to Kyber 2 to start next week off in another Kyber 2 bracket and keep that streak alive. And we will wrap it up there. I did not get the Marjade Datacron. I spent everything I had trying to get it. Did not get lucky on the rolls. We will have Trench, Django, and Ben Swolo for next week. Technically, I also have Fulcrum, but I'm not going to take her to Relics right now. That's not something that I can utilize. Maybe in a 5v5 setting, but we'll be re-rolling again, and I'll be, once the store refreshes, I'll be making another attempt. But it means at least one more week without the MJ Cron. But be safe out there, everyone. Be excellent to each other. Thank you. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.